What happened to your face?
I cannot hear you.
I can't see you.
Can you see me?
No.
Okay, should I turn it on again? Okay, good.
There you
There we
are.
go. Hey, nice to meet you.
Hey. Welcome, everybody. It's the even more fabulous Dr. Mother Love coming to you live and in living color. Well, as opposed to coming to you dead and in black and white. This is going to be with all of the chaos that is going on in the world, in our communities, and families are in turmoil. Today is going to be a peaceful, loving day where we can get in tune with ourselves and understand about vibrations and how we are all in tune with the universe through vibrations. I am honored to have on the program Arthur, and he understands this and broke it down so that we can understand. If I can understand it, you know it's got to be really good. His name is Sigmar Berg. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Welcome to
Correctly.
the Mother Love Show. You're the author of One Journey, the Lovetuner. Before we get into your explaining to us and teaching us about love tuning, let's find out about you. Where are you from? You got sisters and brothers? You married? You got kids? You like girls? Where you go? Okay, I'm ready. Hi.
Hey, thank you for having me on your show. Appreciate it.
It's a
Big fan.
pleasure. So now tell me about you growing up. Where did you grow up?
I'm originally from Austria, Europe, and I grew up in the town Salzburg. I don't know if this is known here. It's an old, like medieval town, beautiful. But yeah, I moved to the States a long time ago, and yeah, and
What made you leave Austria?
it was just my business. So I was a designer and architect before, and I was growing my company. We had already a showroom in New York, and then at one point, I moved with my family back then to California.
Well, how sweet is that? Talk about your family. How many you got kids?
Yeah, I got two kids. Yeah,
Two kids, that's all you need.
yeah.
That's
That's
it.
all you need. Two hands, two
Two,
kids.
that's it. I had one. I wanted to see if my body worked, and it did, and I was traumatized. I'm telling you, I was traumatized. And then they don't come with directions. You really have to be in tune with babies. And babies can vibe. Babies have vibrations too. They have good energy. And I believe this is just me, and I'm a little crazy. I know your publicists and everybody over there at the Blaine group said, "Yeah, we're gonna put you on with the crazy lady." But that's the best part about it, because I believe babies understand everything. They can understand foreign languages. They can understand they just don't tell us. They
Yeah,
don't.
because they still react to vibrations, what we actually forget.
How,
So we are
how
all
did you get
vibrational
involved in
fields.
this? How did you get involved in this part of life?
So actually on accident, so I started meditating like years ago, and then I got introduced to an old friend of mine in the power of the 528 hertz frequency, and I did a meditation with this sound, and it was also breath work involved, and I just figured, wow, that's the most profound meditation I ever did in my life. And it also took me, I think, to the next level. And this is when I experienced the frequency myself the first time. And then later on, yeah, we created this love tuner, and we put actually sound healing and breath work into a little tiny device that looks like this, and
Uh-huh.
it's a single tone flute. You carry it around your neck. You can
Mhm.
take it out of the holder, and it makes this frequency when you blow through this whistle. And what it basically does is you make a conscious breathing break. You connect to this frequency with your exhale, and on a spiritual level, you invite love in your life. And
One of the things well, it always fascinates me about vibrations and the power of stones and crystals and being able to see people's aura and see that. I mean, and this is how come I know babies are intuitive. You want to find out about a person's spirit, put a baby in their arms or put an animal around them because
absolutely,
they tell you. Won't
absolutely.
they tell you? They will babies can see through that, and they can feel, and that's what they have. They have that strong vibration, and
Yeah.
they'll look at you. Ooh, they could see the negative spirits. They could feel the negative energy. And when they start talking, kids have no filter. Kids have no filter. Their channels are completely open to the universe, and they will see. When you have kids, you can't be embarrassed anymore. You know
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah,
Kids
absolutely.
will embarrass you, but you can't be embarrassed with
Yeah,
kids.
yeah.
And so, because talk to people about the importance and share with them what the 528 hertz is and how that works in the universe.
So in the universe, it's the most powerful solfeggio frequency. It's called the miracle frequency, DNA repair, or the so-called love frequency. And what it does, it resonates with the center of your solar plexus and with your heart. And on a heart level, everybody is connected. So our hearts are super curious. The only thing what separates us is our intellect. You know, we look at each other, we see something, we are judgmental, and this separates humanity. When you go onto your heart center and you activate this through the power of the 528 hertz frequency, our hearts are curious. We always want to connect. And this is what my mission is, and this is what the power of the 528 hertz frequency can do for you, that you feel yourself, you feel you are getting attuned with yourself, and you feel your own vibration, and you also recognize what is in harmony with you and what is in dissonance. Because our society and us included, we totally cope with bad vibes. That's just normal for us. We don't even long anymore for, hey, I have an amazing high vibrational day. We go like, wow, this was bad, that was bad, Wi-Fi, you name it. So we have so many bad frequency that bombards us during our daily thing. So it's important to take this mindfulness time and consciously connect to a higher frequency and just make yourself vibrate higher, have higher frequency experiences, and get out of this same old pattern of negative vibrations.
Why do you think so many people feed off of that negative energy when it is so much, it's so much easier and so much more peaceful to be in tune with yourself, to know who you are, to
Yeah.
thine own self be true. And people have, like they said, they put up these masks and they put all the negative energy around them. And a lot of times people hold on to that negative energy, believing that well, this is what I know. I can't get this out. And so therefore I don't care what happens to another human being. It's like the negative energy keeps them from being compassionate and impassioned. Like they're afraid to get in tune with themselves first, to get to know them, because it feels like, well, I don't need to have all of that. I've got to take care of my house. I got to take care of my job. I got to take care of the boss. I got to take care of everybody else. And we don't take care of us. We don't get in tune with us. How can we be taught to move that negative energy, those negative vibrations out of our energy sphere, so that we are allowing the good spirits, that we're allowing the good soulful people to come into it? And why are people so afraid of themselves?
Yeah, like you will always have the same experiences that are within you. If your vibration doesn't raise, you will have always the same experiences. And it's a super easy pattern for humans to blame something else. And the thing is, if you start blaming on the outside, or if you're waiting for hope and help on the outside, it will not come, because first you go inside, you need to find your own shadows and cope with it and get rid of it if you can, or just live with it and know that it's like the universe. It's 51% good, 49% bad, and this is what is in us too. And you can just feed the higher vibration or your better side. And if you do this consciously, your system will shift, and you meet different people that are on your vibrational scale. But it always starts with the journey inside. If you look on the outside, that's a waste of time.
Because the outside of you can change, you can pivot, you can make yourself be anybody that you want to be. You all just celebrated Halloween. I don't like Halloween. I just don't like it. I don't see the purpose of it, except giving your kids a sugar rush for like the next 5 days,
Yeah,
and you never let them eat all the candy.
yeah.
And so, and that's when people feel like, I think it's such a big deal, because people can dress themselves up to be anything and anybody that they want to be. And it's another way to hide inside yourself and not have anybody else out here to see who you truly are, because you're afraid of seeing who you truly are. And and when people start going into tuning in with the universe, in which you said, the heart is the most powerful. It is. Love is our most powerful, uh, the most powerful energy that we can have. And a lot of people don't want to give it away. Why do you think that is? Or they
Um,
don't even want to embrace it for themselves.
the thing is, like, everybody knows the saying, love can heal everything, love can overcome everything. But love also implicates that you are authentic. If you fake, nothing gonna change. It comes together. You can only love if you're really authentic to yourself and to everything around you, because the universe does not even find you if you're not authentic. How can it send anything good your way if you change, if you lie, if you pretend? And this is why you will not find any love before you come really and authentic yourself. And that means don't care about how people charge you. Also try to avoid charging others and just go in there and go like, I'm just open. Maybe it's a bad experience, maybe it's a good experience. But with my vibration, I trust that it's gonna be a good experience. And this is just like a little mind trick, what you should always think about. Are you really authentic? Is it really in resonance with you? Is it really you? And then become the lover that the world needs, and spread the love and do it with attention. And it's easy, because the only thing we are so overwhelmed, and I have seen this when I worked with my foundation, especially also with veterans, even with kids, when they really touch their hearts, they start crying immediately because they're holding on to so much negativity. And if you let this go once, maybe some big tears, but in the long run, you get stronger, and yeah, and you start flying instead of walking.
And a lot of people, we've all done bad things. We've done things that we've been ashamed of. We've said things that we wish we could take back, and you can't. That's why when you said you have to live intentionally, you have to live authentically. How do you want people to treat you depends on how you treat other people. And I found that out as a very young kid, and how important vibrations are, and how important it is to keep. And a lot of times, when you talk about people that are toxic in your life, a lot of times, which is sad, it comes from within your family circle, in your community, and everybody seems like everybody's got a bad attitude. And I think that's one of the reasons why people just gravitate to mother love, because I know I have a high vibration. I know I have a high sensory. I walk in, and I could walk into a room with 500 people. By the time I've left, Sigma, I probably know 498 of them, because I want to interact and I want to pull energy. And this is another thing that I have seen. When your vibration is high, and all your channels are opening, and the universe is conspiring with you for your success. I don't believe that any of us are here by happen chance. That's one thing. We all have a purpose. And I believe our human purpose is to connect through vibration, through sound, through spirit, through music. Because when you think about sound, and they got all these new things now that you could play the music to put you to sleep. I don't know what it is with me, because as soon as I turn it on, I'm like knocked out. I sleep peacefully, and a lot of people fret in their sleep because they're so afraid of the unknown. When did you know you were not going to be fearful of the unknown?
You know, when you learn how to sit with yourself, because this is the biggest problem when we talk about people who cannot sleep, it's very simple. The day shuts down, everything is quiet, distraction goes away, and now suddenly the mind jumps on and it cannot rest, because, there's a lot of things going on. And this is why when you learn to sit with yourself, and I mean, everybody did bad stuff. We say bad words. I mean, I should know better. I still swear. And so it's like,
Well, wait a minute. Let me just tell you this. Sometimes it is really necessary. I know what people say. Oh, well, if you have to use profanity, you really don't have command of your emotions. And I'm like, yes, I do. I done
yeah,
told your slap happy behind, I don't like you. Stay out my face. No, I'm not changing my mind. Then they go, well,
exactly.
mother love, you being mean. I'm like, and you're being toxic. And I,
Yeah,
I can't, I cannot,
no.
in my spirit, I can't do. I had a really hard time, and to this day, right now, since I got older, I'm allergic to the BS, so I don't even want to hear it. I can see the crap coming before you even get into the room. And have you ever noticed? And maybe it's just me, but have you ever noticed that negative people have a certain scent? They have a
Yeah,
certain. Uh,
absolutely.
so,
Absolutely. They do.
is it?
No, it's really true. It's true. And the next thing is also with bad attention people, toxic people, they have one thing in common. They're extremely friendly. And And this is the same because they know that they're bullshitters. And, and,
Let's go keep it real, baby. Let's just go keep it real.
and
They
this
told me I was
really,
gonna love talking to you, and I am already. Okay, mine is lust. I love my husband, and sometimes well, that's the day I love him. Tomorrow could be a different story. I go day by day, hour by hour, because you never know when new joy is going to come in your life. You never know what day it is when your assignment might change. Because when you're in tune with the universe, she will open up the universe to conspire for you to be successful when you are willing to stand in your purpose. Because oftentimes, I mean, because what you guys are doing is a pretty big deal, bringing people into their natural state of being with their health, their spirit, their minds, their bodies, their thoughts, even what we're eating. I mean, you see people so many, it's the obesity problem in this country is just completely out of control. I was out of control with it. Everybody, we got kids having diabetes that shouldn't have diabetes, and people eat because food is our familiar. People overeat because food is our familiar. And people especially women, overeat over whatever's going on. I was an emotional eater. Oh, I ate when I got a new contract. Let's go out to dinner. Let's eat a whole bunch of food. Oh, they done fired me from my job. Okay, let's go eat. Okay, we got a new baby in the family. Let's eat. So everything in my growing up was centered around food.
okay.
It was good food. We didn't eat processed food. My mother and father we made our own pasta, our own ground beef. We made our own ground turkey. My daddy had a meat grinder on it, and little kids, because, and we were well. We were well. Now we got so many kids that are obese, and that extra weight can weigh on your spirit as well. And you got to clean out the garbage, what they say, garbage in, garbage out, good in, good out. And I got to a place that I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I said, I'm going to get my diabetes under control. I just left my doctor just today. And she said to me, I wish all of my patients were like you. You really pay attention. I said, we work well as a team, even when I don't agree with you. And she said, that's why I love you, because you don't BS. And she's from Burma. She's from Burma, and she got it. And that's what's important, And the best part of that is I can heal what they can't fix, and they can fix what I can't heal. And we work together in tandem. And that's why they take very good care of me, because they know how important my health is for me. I lost 111 pounds, and I told them I ain't never gonna be that big fat chick again. And I knew I was fabulous. That's why I introduced myself as the even more fabulous. Because I was a fabulous big
Yeah.
chick. Oh, I was a fabulous. I knew all the fat jokes. People couldn't understand. Well, how did she get that fine husband? Like, I'm supposed to get an ugly husband that's not good for me and not good. I didn't get that one. How she get him? He still, he gonna leave her fat behind. Watch, he gonna leave her. He gonna leave it. Then when my stars start rising and getting brighter, they were like, oh, he really gonna leave her. Now, we just celebrated our 50th year together.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I keep saying, honey, you can leave us, all right, but when you come back, can you bring somebody that could do the laundry and clean up the kitchen? Okay. You know who need wives? Wives need wives. Men have it going on you, especially when you got somebody who loves you and they want to make sure you're healthy and you're well and you're happy. Then we got 17 jobs we still got to do. But you got to learn to pace yourself. And a lot of people overwhelm themselves with so many things they have to do, listening to that white noise. Talk to us about how we calm that white noise down, because I find it when I get still, which, as I've gotten more seasoned, I'm still a lot more often than I was before. I don't feel like I have to run 150 miles an hour. How can you share with our audience what are some of the things that they could do internally to help calm that white noise down?
I mean, I don't want to, promote too much my product here because I just want to give an overall thing. I mean, the Love Tuner does this,
Okay, give
by
me
the
an
way.
overall opinion, because I'm gonna ask the question.
Okay, so the overall opinion is just like the biggest regulator we have is our breath. So when we enter this world, the first thing we do, we inhale, and when we go from this world, we exhale. And in between this time, we take our breath for granted and we never pay attention. So we breathe like dogs all day long, and we think, oh, that's the right way to breathe. That's not right. So what we should do is like, if something comes up, And if you think your head explodes, at least take a breathing cycle. Fill up your lungs, exhale strong, that all the bad stuff comes out. Then do it again, open up your lungs, and you will see how your nervous system calms down, and then you can make better decisions. And that's just the beginning of a very simple, you want, it's not even spiritual, it's a mindfulness routine. And if you put this in, and if you see your own patterns, this is why people love to vape or to smoke cigarettes, because I mean, there's a bad thing to cigarettes and all the chemicals, etc. But at the end of the day, that's the only time where most of the people go like, and that's the relaxing part. Very simple. And you can do this in many different ways. It doesn't need to be negative. You can just take your breath, and we just forget that everything is in our body. Our body is a big machine, and we can do good things and bad things. And most important is always the attention. And you had the attention to lose weight, boom, you got a doctor, you did it. But it was your attention. I mean, you did it. It came from yourself. You wanted to be healthy and happy and whatever. And mental health and physical health is totally connected. You cannot be a smart ass and mentally proper if you have physical problems. And the other way around doesn't work either.
See, obviously, Devin and Adam over at the Blame Group didn't tell you that we don't do logic before 4 o'clock. What is wrong with you? You can't make sense like that. Are you
Okay.
seriously? And I often see this. I speak with a lot of women. I am a spokesperson for the diabetes community, and I often when I'm out doing my mother love thing, I hear women say this often. Well, I don't know if I could do that. That seems too big. What if I don't make it? What if I fail? I'm like, well, what if you don't? What if you just put forth the effort? Be intentional about what you want and what you want to be and how you want to be that. And there a lot of women just say, well, I'll just take whatever I get. I'm like, oh, I don't think so. I
Right.
want to be intentional in my relationships. I want to be intentional in the love that I put out to people, because what I know, and I know that I know this, when you put it out there and you don't expect anything back because you know that was your job. Like you said, I want to make sure people get the information. I wrote this book and I put it down and let people know that. And the book, wait a minute, the book is awesome.
Thank
Okay.
you. Really
It
appreciate
really,
it.
really is. And I appreciate the way that you guys sat down and broke it down, how this happened. So tell me about your writing process, and about Anne. Tell me about her. How did you two get together to collaborate on one journey, the Love Tuner,
Um, with whom? Sorry, I didn't catch this one.
with Anne,
With
the
Anne.
lady who wrote the
Yeah,
book
yeah,
with you?
yeah. Anne is we call those people team writers. These are like literally people that work with Lovetuner, and they come from different fields. So Anne is actually a very famous business coach in Germany, but she learned one thing. She's a medium. She channels a special energy, and she does one thing. She combines cooperation with mindfulness. Basically, that's what it is. She brings mindfulness into the corporate world. And like, a lot of managers are burned out, and then they cost, especially big corporation, it costs those corporations a lot of money. And it's not that they're good people, but they recognized, how can we get our management to, yeah, to last longer, basically, and not put more pressure on it. And this is basically what Anne is, and she has a big knowledge about the spiritual part. And so, like, when I started working with her like 4 or 5 years ago, we are good friends. We're very close, and we did seminars together. I brought her onto these Love Tuner seminars in Europe as a spokesperson. And yeah, then we sat down together and we said, listen, we need to bring all this knowledge into one book, because the Love Tuner is just so much more than a product. It started as a love and peace mission. We want to change the world. We want to make it a happier, more sustainable place. And we want to remind people that happiness is our birthright. And if you're not happy, and if you're not funny, and if you don't dance, and if you don't just do crazy things, this is what we are here for. We are not here for to be like already in heaven. We are humans. We need to have human experiences, and we need to make the best out of it. And happiness is for sure number one, and this is what we all deserve. And right now, it's not granted for everyone in this world.
And it is not. But we have not but and we have the power to change it. We have the power to put our energies together to connect, because when you're in a village, when there are other like-minded people, the love can grow and expand. And it takes a certain mindset to get to where you guys are, to understand about the human psyche, about emotions, and how we can be all over the place and try to focus. And that was one of my issues, because I was all over the place. My mind was moving just at warp speed. And I had to literally sit down, take a breath, because I started to feel myself getting worn out. People
Yeah,
were taking,
yeah.
taking, taking, and I wasn't being able to, replenish myself. So I had to kind of like step back. Do you feel like that sometimes, because it can be overwhelming, even for the smartest of us, even for the most in tune of us, to go back and to make sure that we're rejuvenated? How do you rejuvenate for
Uh,
you?
maybe with some crazy stuff, like I love sometimes about myself. I'm outside. I spend a lot of time in nature. I think that's a big rejuvenator. So I surf, I kite surf. I spend a lot of time in the ocean, and I do this a little bit consciously. It's not only about the exercise. If I walk outside and I'm try to be barefoot, it just reconnects you. Like, I mean, Mother Earth is a big magnet. The sun is electrons, so we are electromagnetic, and we just always need to think about it. Let some good energy run through you. Be a little bit stupid, hug a tree, make make fun about yourself, and that's the best indicator, And don't
When
take
you
yourself
can't,
so serious.
right,
That's the
when you
most
can't
important thing.
laugh at yourself and you take yourself so serious, you are wasting so much time, energy, and effort, because we're not coming out of this alive. This body will wear out. It will, and if I'd have knew I was going to live this long, I would have taken way better care of myself. I'm living on house money, and I know I'm living on house money. And I said I'm going to make the best day to day. I'm not dragging in yesterday, because I did that, been there, done that. Now I get this gift, this presence of today. I get the privilege and the honor to be able to speak with you and have a conversation with you. This is a highlight of my day, and I just expect it to get better and better and better. And so I think it's important that we don't take ourselves so serious, and you don't take the world so serious. Look for the joy and the beauty, instead of always like, oh God, it's fall. Now I gotta go ahead and rake the leaves up. Instead of thinking, what a beautiful array of color fall brings to us. I don't understand it. My mother used to tell me, you know what? Something is wrong with you, child, because you don't take anything serious. You just use your head for a hat rack. Everything is a comedy to you. Everything is funny to you. And I'd be like, I have to talk up under my breath, because I'm a baby boomer. And when I was growing up, your parents would tell you, I can hear you thinking. And I'm like, oh, I better stop thinking that. And I believed her. And parents have high vibrations, and sometimes they are very toxic, and they put that off on their children. Then as the kids grow up, they, kind of pattern, how their parents are. And you always say, I'm not going to be like my father. I'm not going to be like my mother. And you turn out, because those are the traits that we have. Talk to us about the importance of creating your own traits in your own life. Even if you came from, the richest family in the world, because they got drama too. You know what Jay-Z said, I got 99 problems and you ain't one. I ain't gonna be one of them. And to poor people, we were poor. I didn't know we were poor until I was 16 and my mother wouldn't buy me a car. I was
Yeah.
like, but I'm 16, I get straight A's. She said, that's what you're supposed to do. You're not paying rent up in here. I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. And then I had to learn to find my path, to make my foundation. She gave us a good foundation to build upon. And some people, you give them a good foundation and they just squander it.
Yeah.
How do you talk to young people, especially nowadays? Because they got a commercial out here that's running. Um, I don't know if you've seen this on television. It's a doctor, and the doctor's sharing with us that children from 0 to 5 years old they have toxic energy, and it's causing them to have all kind of anxiety. I would have never thought but children are under a lot of anxious stress, and that's a lot has to do with their parents, or their parents not being there, or whatever the circumstances are. And they're saying that this is going to create more problems as these young kids grow up. They're going to grow up with, they said 1 in 2 children born in the year 2000 will develop type 2 diabetes in their lifetime. That's
Yeah.
what they got to look forward to. And we got to be smart enough to teach them and show them and guide them through our own example. Because what they tell you, do what I tell you to do. Don't do what I do. Do what I say, not what would I do. But where's the example? We have to be the example. We have to be the ones that teach them about love and compassion. And if you don't teach it because you don't know it, that's when a lot of the problems come in. Teaching people how to love themselves. Because a lot of people, a lot of people just don't like themselves. They just
Yeah,
don't like the energy.
absolutely.
These are the people that we need to be talking to talk to them, to let them know you can get this book right here. That's him right there. You do look like a hippie though. You you do look like a hippie. You got a very hippie-ish thing going. I was in that era, so I know. But I love this picture of you because you look so kind of sort of serious. But I look in your eyes and I'm like, he is having him a ball in there.
I try my best.
And you know what else? People don't know how to be their own best company. They don't know how to be alone by themselves. When you said we got to sit in it, people, if I don't sit in it, if I don't acknowledge it, it's like the little 14-year-old girl that's going to pretend she didn't have sex and that she's pregnant. She's just going to wear bigger clothes. It'll just go away. No, it won't. Talk about the importance of being able to sit in where you are and be where you are and be honest with yourself. That's what people don't want to do. They don't want to be honest.
Exactly. So what you just said, sitting with yourself, just what I would tell people is to really try it out first and just sit and look what happens. Put your phone away, turn your TV off, and just sit with yourself and then be conscious about what is coming up and what triggers you, and then like take it out and look at it. Maybe it's not your life, like look from a bird's perspective, and then at one point you might look at it, it's not that big or it's really that big, but you make way better judgment. But this you only reach when you sit by yourself, and you need to take the time for it. And you cannot jump off 5 minutes later and get a drink or do something else to distract you. You need to really sit with it and look what it's doing to you. And you cannot be a role model to your kids. And unfortunately, our kids right now are vibrating way higher than we do. We are wired DNA wise like dinosaurs compared to the kids born after 2000. And and those kids, they are actually on a very high spiritual level. But what are we doing to those kids? We give them devices, we distract them, we talk about anxiety. I don't know, I'm sure in your childhood you never heard the word anxiety. No kids had anxiety back then. They had maybe drama, but they don't have, but
But not
but
anxious.
but not anxious. And now kids are sitting in beautiful homes or whatever, have everything what they want to have, and they have an anxiety attack. There's something like a little bit that's not normal, and this needs to be addressed. And when people understand in general that life only happens outside of your comfort zone, your life is not happening on your sofa watching TV. This is where you lose your life. Just go out, do something what is maybe not in your comfort zone, and then you will see, oh well, this is real life. And life only happens in the here and now. When you complain about the past, you get depressed. And when you look in the future and say, oh my God, the next world war is coming, then you get total anxiety, like, and that's what it is. The actual happening is here and now. And in the here and now, you need to do the best you can, that the next day is a good one. And even if it's a bad day, doesn't matter. It didn't kill you yet,
See, and what do they say? If it doesn't kill you, it'll make you stronger.
Exactly.
And being in sitting with yourself, uh, I appreciated that when I started to do my one journey, do my work, to be able to sit and just hear myself, listen to myself speak, listen to my feelings. And there were times when I would just break down and just cry for hours. I don't have to do that anymore
Yeah.
because but I did it was very, don't get me wrong, it was very cathartic, and I was able to release a lot of the things that I had been anxious about. And then I realized, you know what, it wasn't even that serious. You
Yeah.
mean I wasted all this energy on this? Now I can do this, and I know how to stop that. I know how to say, okay, that's it. That's this is my favorite new mantra. I'm disengaging from this conversation.
Beautiful. Beautiful. But this is what people also don't want to understand. They go like, okay, today I want to change my life. I'm gonna buy a smart book about meditation, or I go to church, whatever is good for those people. And then they think from now on everything gets better. And that's not how it is. If you clean the house, you need to take all the rubbish out first, and then it gets better. Then the house starts to shine. Then the house has a better vibe. But it for sure, when you start this conscious decision of having a more intentional, more mindful life, it's gonna get a little bit rough at the beginning. You cry, you transform. Some people get aggressive, throw stuff against the wall, whatever they do. But this is transformation. This is what's happening. And then when you have this cleared out of your system, then you're ready for the next step. And most people give up before they really dig into the bad stuff.
Because I think that's because they look at it as being something too big, something that they can't conquer, and they talk themselves out of the success for themselves. When I talk to a lot of people, one of the things that I find out, and especially in my community, among African American and our brown brothers and sisters, a lot of them don't really feel and believe that they deserve to be in good health, that they deserve to be happy, that they deserve to be well, that they deserve to have good friends. And see, those are the markers for me that I made for myself. I used to tell people all the time, oh, when I grow up, okay, well, that was a lie because I wasn't growing up. I'm not a grown up. I'm a adult. And that's what I do. I'm sticking to it. And I used to tell people all of this all the time. Oh, I'm going to be rich and famous. I'm going to have a fine husband. I'm going to live in a big fancy house. I'm going to travel the world. And, they're looking at me like, girl, you need to shut up. You from the projects. You done went way, way out there. But like you said, if you don't do something crazy, if you don't step out of your comfort zone, you won't be living. I remember when I left Cleveland to come out here to California. Well, actually, they sent for me to come from Cleveland to come out here to California. And everybody, my mother, my sisters and brothers, all my friends, all my husband's friends, they go, that's not going to last. She too attached to her family. She won't last. I came out, they gave me 30 days. I've been here 33 years.
Wow. Yeah.
So that was actually living way outside of a box. I came out here, I doomed one person,
Yeah.
one, and that was the guy that sent for me. And that changed my life. And Spirit said, no, this you do, this you go. Because I'm a Capricorn. I'm like, okay, is that going to make sense? But then I'm a Capricorn. I'm going, I don't care if it makes sense. It don't have to make sense. I'm a woman. And it has been up and down. It has been a learning experience, and I'm still very, very happy. I could not imagine not having to say yes to this opportunity. And a lot of people will just turn them down. But then I got to the point, I'm like this, Sigmar. Okay, you don't want to do it? That's more for me.
Yeah.
I'll take that blessing. I'll take that energy. And then they go, I can't believe she did that. Who does he think he is? He wrote a book. Well, yeah. Oh, you think you somebody? No, I don't think I'm somebody. I know I'm somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not being arrogant or egotistical. That's me knowing that Spirit put a good amount of energy into me. And sometimes I get so full, I have to get it out. You ever been around people and you're like, I just gotta get it out. Let me tell you this, let me show you this. And you still get excited. You still
Yeah.
get excited when you're sharing this.
Absolutely. And the thing is always very simple. We are mind controlled, and small minds kill big dreams. So, and most of the time it's your friends, your family, they're preoccupied with whatever their belief systems. And I mean, I luckily never had any support when I did my journey. Also, when I when I moved to the States. But I was a believer in myself, and I said, listen, I should have come way earlier. I wasted time back then. But it's literally, it's not your dream. It's not your mind. You create it. It's your mind. No matter what other people think, and this is what it is. Small minds kill big dreams. So it's your dream. You need to make it happen. And no matter what people say to you, this just needs to, cannot, even if it comes up into you, don't tap into this. Like, if you're a strong believer in yourself, and if you trust your own vibration and you go beyond the mind, then you can reach everything. And back then I was not even on my spiritual journey that deep and not that educated about it. And I didn't have all these experiences with tunings of thousands of people, what gave me a lot of information, how people vibe and so on. And I can read energies. But back then, I was just a stubborn person. I said, nobody gonna break my dream. And that's it. And this is what you have to do. And you need to stand up for this. And it doesn't matter if you're 10 years old, 20, or if you're 70 years old. This is always the same game. It's your dream. You need to live it.
And not be afraid, because fear will absolutely paralyze you. Fear of the unknown, fear of I'm gonna make is this gonna work? How am I gonna get there? I'm a faithful person. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. I mean, he got the best story going. You done died, been dead 3 days, and you done came back. Oh, I'm going with that part. And that's where your faith comes in. And that's the strength and the power and the light that has been put into all of us. And some people just want to put their light up under a bushel. And some of us not don't even come at me with a bushel, because you know that you are here to be on your assignment. And a lot of people just don't want to accept it. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like themselves, why they are unhappy, and and all the things that are negative in their life, that they can take the time and the power to sit in it, walk through it. I know when you can't change the situation, change your attitude toward it. We couldn't say who we were what family we were gonna be born into. Now you can make a decision about how you want your life to be. Let that You couldn't change who you came from, so make a difference in how you want to be. This is one I want, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Because you talk about breath. What are the solfeggio? Am I saying it right?
Yeah, solfeggio frequencies. Yeah.
Okay, tell us about the frequency and how is that, and is it different from the 528 hertz?
Notice the 528 hertz is the most prominent frequency in the solfeggio frequency. All solfeggio frequencies are healing frequencies. It starts from whatever, opening up your third eye all the way to pain relief. And these are all symmetric frequencies, and they have been studied over many, many years. And actually, if we would be fully in tune with our music, so 528 hertz is actually the old C note. It's also called the forgotten note. And the reason why it got a forgotten note is because we changed our musical scale. So we pitched the A tone from 444 hertz to 440. So and the C note disappeared. But for example, John Lennon knew about the power of this frequency, and Imagine is still whatever the most famous love and peace song for nearly whatever more than half a century.
Right.
And the reason is because the guy composed it in 528 hertz. He knew about it, and this is why this frequency is so powerful. And it's a little bit too much now for our show to go into each of those frequencies, but it's in the book, and you can read about all the powers of those different frequencies and what their purpose actually is.
So there's a different frequency for 528 hertz, goes a lot with the music. There are other frequencies that, because if I'm to understand this correct, there are like 9 different frequencies.
Yeah,
And
correct.
can we tap into all of them at one time, or do we have to tap into them one at a time?
I mean, you can have composed, like there's a like relaxing solfeggio frequencies out there where are composed with different frequencies. But I always recommend to do like whatever, listen to those frequencies on your phone. You can download it on apps, and whatever you feel like, if you need something for sleep, you listen to a different frequencies. But most importantly, that you stay within this solfeggio frequency range, because they're proven since hundreds of years that they are healing frequencies.
And we know about, I mean, this goes all the way back to ancient times, when Pythagorean, do I say that right? The one that came up with calculus and geometry and trigonometry, the mathematics. And I was reading in the book that people, when they hear people like you talk and listen to me, they'll go, oh, they're just way out there in the ethereal world, and this is just something that they feel. There is scientific proof that this works. Can you share
Absolutely.
with us a little bit about the scientific proof, to maybe to the naysayers who are like, yeah, no, how does that work? But there is scientific proof.
Like the 528 hertz, for example, when you tune to water, so we are like whatever, 70, 80% water. This is why it works. This is where my knowledge came from. And this was from a Japanese scientist. His name was Masure Emoto. He died like about 10 years ago already. But he was traveling all around the world and he was collecting waters. He looked at the waters under a microscope and he figured out that when you talk to the water and you say love, beautiful things, water reacts to it. And when you look under a microscope, you see the reaction of water. When you scream at the water, like whatever squares, and if you play certain like what atonal music, the water captures this information too. And with the 528 hertz, for example, when you play this on water, it restructures in the original hexagonal shape. And this is what it's doing to your body because our blood is 91% water, the rest is 70 to 80%. So we vibrate because we are liquid, and that's what it is. This is where the part of this physical proof comes from, and there's a lot of science people can read up about this. But I tell you one thing, and this is what everybody remembers. I had a grandma, and she was like a very simple lady, but she was the wisest one of all of us. And I remember when I was a little kid, she did two things to me. She said, "Take a breath and hop on my lap." And I was sitting on her lap and she was humming. She,
Mm-hmm.
she didn't say anything. She just saw that I was totally upset. And I took a breath, a breather, and it already like released whatever was going on with me as a 5, 6 year old kid. And then I was on her lap and she just started humming. And so she knew. And this lady was born, whatever, 1800 something. Like she became nearly 100 years old, and we all loved her. But her wisdom was exactly this. So she never was reading a book about frequency and vibration, but she knew very well what to say. Take a breath, and come on, and she make this humming, comforting sound.
and
So
the
it's
vibrations between you and she just came together, and that's when you calm down. And that I was saying earlier that you, if you want to know the spirit of a person, put a baby around them,
exactly,
and or put an animal around them, and you'll be able to see, because they see things and they hear things that we don't. And when you take a baby, and they do this now all the time when babies are born, the first thing they do is they take the baby and they put the baby right next to the mother's heart, so the baby could feel the vibrations. And
exactly,
I used to hum. I can't sing, can't carry a tune in a push cart, but I could hum, and I could drop the octave of my voice. And like I would lay my baby right here, and I would just, and I could just lull him to sleep. Then when we start having grandchildren, I was like, what if I lost my baby humming skills? Nope. Nope. No, they used to say, "What did you do to them?" I said, "I just put them on my lap and I just,
Mhm.
and they'll knock right out and give a baby a good bath and massage their feet." Oh, they used to tell me, I don't want to get it. I don't want to get my feet rubbed."
Exactly,
Out.
exactly, exactly,
And that's, we have to keep that with them. We got to keep our children to understand the energy that they have. I mean, every living creature has energy, and we belong to each other. And we got to stop with all this hatred, with all this judgmental attitudes. It's just not necessary anymore. We tried the hatred thing, we tried the racist thing, we tried the sexist thing. We saw that crap didn't work. Can we just try the human thing?
exactly.
Can we
Yeah.
just, be all right with everybody? My mother used to tell me all the time, she said, smile. It'll make people wonder what you're up to. And I was like, she said, 'cause happy people want to always know, why she smiling like that? What he doing? Every time I see him, he all happy and everything. And that people see that light. People see that aura. The ones that want to see him. And I think all of us have that ability to see the light, to see the strength, to bring in the energy, and they just don't want to do it. And I feel bad for them because they're missing out on so much. So now with the Love Turner, with the One Journey, the Love Tuner book, what do you want the readers to garner from this, from your story and your experiences?
What I want is that they open up their minds to this and then start listening, trusting their heart, and come an overall like healthier and happier people. And it's not about like you cannot heal the world at once, but what we are doing is to touch one heart after the other, because everyone that is reading this book and everyone that, is open to it, they're gonna do what I'm trying to do with my book. They do
Wait,
it by
stop,
themselves,
stop, gotta stop you. Oh, gotta stop you. That word is like cussing at me. You're not trying to do anything, my dear. You
We're
are
doing
doing it. You are doing it. I don't know if you're a Star Wars fan, but Yoda used to say, Yoda, one of his my favorite lines is Yoda says, no, we do or we don't do. We don't try. We either do it or we don't do it. And you are doing it.
we are
You're
doing
not trying to do it. You're not, working to figure it out. You've got this down. You got it down. You take that word out of your vocabulary because and you have put down some great words, some great energy. I mean, even when I opened, literally, this is like really funny. My husband opened up the envelope. I told him he gonna go to jail for opening up my mail. He like, yeah, right. Because I open up all his mail, read his email, all that stuff. And he had put the envelope in the trash can. And I went to put something else in the trash can. And literally, I'm telling you, you're gonna think this is crazy. Literally, when I touched the envelope that your book came in, I could feel the kinetic energy just from the envelope. And I tore it open, and I'm in here with the 7 hermetic principles. So that's as far as I got, because I just got it the other day. But I'm going to read this. So do you have other books that are coming up? What are your other projects that you're working on? Because I
so.
can see you just doing one thing.
Yeah, like I mean, this was the most important thing, to have this book out, that people
Mhm.
have an understanding about the Lovetuner. And a lot of people ask us questions over all those years, because it's not an esoteric gimmick. That's a really working instrument. That's a profound tool. And I just wanted to put all the knowledge behind it,
Mhm.
that because I have, for example, friends, they are in whatever high ranking positions, investment bankers, businessmen, you name it, and
Mhm.
they're only wearing this Lovetuner because they believe in it, but they never show it like me. They always have it under their suit or whatever. And what they told me is, it's our secret weapon. They go out for meetings, they tune, and this is exactly what it should be. And this is what I'm promoting. So we are very strong into the workforce right now. That's the next big project. We want to bring mindfulness into the corporate world, where people just like get over the burnout, and be just better people, and intentionally, because we're always talking about breaking the system, changing the system. We cannot break the system from outside. We can break it from inside with the right people that have a connection to their heart, and they're just good humans and don't want to destroy our planet, basically.
Oh, I don't know why people think that doing this crap to the universe and doing it to the planet she will replenish herself, and we will pay if we don't stop doing what we're doing. It's like uh uh a woman that has an abusive husband, and she gonna take that's gonna be the last lick I'm taking from you, buddy, and then he gone, right? Like one of my girlfriends said, if he hit me one more time, I'm gonna make sure they can't find him. I'm gonna have him in a trunk someplace, and I'll be the first one leading the search. The search. I was like, Lord have mercy. She said, I'll kill you and I'll lead the search for your body. I was like, oh, that's pretty cutthroat. You're thinking like that crazy. But this is a way for people not to keep being crazy, to calm themselves down. Now, is how can we get the breather? How do you get the breather?
Should I show it real quick? So
Yeah,
explain
you can
to you.
show it. Look, this
So,
is our program. We can do whatever we want to.
so this is the actual tuner. So how you use it? That's a little device. It's a single tone flute. It's calibrated. I don't know if you can hear the tone.
Yes.
So it makes this tone. You don't play it too loud. So you
Mhm.
have you extend your exhale. You connect to this frequency. It gives you a feedback of how well are you breathing, because the tone should be steady and consistent. You do 6 breathing cycle. Takes about 3 minutes, and boom, you're relaxed. And it's a shortcut to meditation. You don't have to have any spiritual whatever books, whatever you have been doing. You just go in there and you do it, and the tuner does it for you. It does a lot of things, everything what we just said. Breathing break, connecting to this frequency. The frequency goes into your body and measurable 8 foot out of your body. So when you do it in a family or with your beloved ones, you guys all connect on the sound carpet. And that's the beautiful thing, and it's super easy, and it works really well. And we did a lot of testings of people doing meditation and
Mhm.
people doing tuning, and both groups had the same effects. We did it with a biofeedback machine that was measuring
Mhm.
the brain waves, and meditation 20 minutes for people who are profound meditators for 10 years and longer. And we had a group of people, no education about spirituality, breathwork, nothing. They did the tuning, took 6 minutes, and we had the same results.
How
And
about that? And with the fact that there are no medications involved, because when when you got all that toxicity and you have a chronic condition, that can pile up on you as well.
yeah,
And I like I said, I went to the doctor today, and she said, "Oh, I wish all of my patients were like you. Oh my God, I follow the instructions because I want to be well. I am intentionally going to the doctor and doing my work to make sure that I'm not backsliding or anything like that." And so it's important that you know what you want to do. It's mindfulness. It's intentional. It's on purpose. And people we need to understand that we have the power to change from within. So how do we get a tuner, a love tuner?
go to lovetuner.com.
Oh, just that simple.
That's
Okay.
simple.
Lovetuner.com. Now this would be good for especially since our children are becoming toxic. Can we teach this to younger children? How young could we teach this to a child?
I mean, I have children that are like whatever 4 or 5 years old, and they use it. I just always tell their parents, be careful that they don't swallow it. But we
That's what
started.
you have to tell me, mother love. Don't swallow the tuna.
But what we did very early, we started with elementary schools. We did school programs where we have been teaching mindfulness. So we have been actually teaching the teachers how to teach mindfulness. And we did small tuning classes where the kids, before they started their daily whatever curriculum, they went in there with the teacher. They took him down from the table, sitting on the floor in a circle, and everybody tuned. And the kids come up and they just give a really great feedback. The whole thing takes maybe 5 to 10 minutes. And within a semester, when we started in those schools, bullying was fully eliminated. The grades went up, and there was an overall more of a unified feeling in the classroom. Even kids that have not been great friends, but they say, listen, we are buddies in the class, and there was no animosities, and this is what we saw. And there's a reason why the Dalai Lama said if every kid with 8 years would meditate, we would have no war in the next generation. And I'm a big believer in this because it's not the kids that make the problems, it's what we put on them.
Exactly. And what we don't want, and then I've seen this too. Oftentimes, when say a child comes and says, we learned how to tune together. Will you get me one of these? You don't need that. You don't know what you're talking about. Then people just talking crazy instead of embracing it and embracing the practice and saying this could be good for this is good for the children. Maybe this could work for me. What kind of feedback were you getting from the children? Because like I said, children have no filter.
Yeah, and this was the main reason when I started this Lovetuner journey. Actually, we went into elementary schools for one reason, because these kids are not friendly with their opinion. I showed it to some of my friends, and they have been thinking he got totally crazy now. He's a full-on hippie now. We cannot talk to him anymore. And they said, and what they told me is like, oh, that's interesting. We love it. Can we have one? So, but a kid tells you right away, no, not interesting. Or what happened in our case, they really started to like it. Like they have been looking forward to these mindfulness moments. And I tell you one thing, I got the most beneficial feedback to push this along because of the kids, because they told me stuff where I was blown away, and it comes with no filters. It comes straight from their heart. I mean, there's a boy, we even have it on our YouTube channel.
Mhm.
He said to it, he said, since I have a love tuner, every time when my mom is like all over the place at home and she's nervous, you know what I said to her? Mom, love tune. And he said that she even reacts differently just by him saying it. She has already loved tune and they tune together. But this is a lot of stuff what kids told us. And it's just beautiful because it could have gone the complete opposite way. And I was sitting in these classes myself a couple of times. and you go in there, you have 25, 30 kids sitting in a circle, and they shut down like boom, like this. They go like, okay, let's start tuning. And it's not easy to get 8-year-old kids to be in silence, you know.
And collectively, 8-year-olds in silence. That's just a miracle. But that is really something that we can all get in tune with. Are you thinking about going into other schools and teaching other people about tuning so maybe we can go into other schools? Is
Yeah,
this going to be a
absolutely.
groundswell
Yeah,
effort?
yeah. This is what we're doing. We started a foundation. This is our main work, what we're doing right now,
Mhm.
to bring these mindfulness programs to schools. We work with veterans, and what I just told it, a new project is bring it into corporations.
And it just seems like so many people are sad and depressed and anxious. What a great way without taking all the medications without a scabillion side effects. You know, you weren't thinking about this. Now you're taking this medication and they tell you you're gonna think about this. They'll tell you, okay, well, we'll give you this medication so your blood pressure doesn't go up and it'll be regulated, but we're gonna give you this other medication that's gonna cause your feet to swell. I am in tune with the holistic healing. We don't always have to take pills, potions, and shots and stuff. There are different things that we can do and be mindful of. Tell people how they can get in touch with you.
Uh, they can reach out to us through the homepage. And I'm actually starting a coaching line on our homepage within the next couple of weeks because more and more people want to chat with me. And there's going to be a feature on our homepage within, I think, the next 2 weeks. We're going to have it live. And this is where they can even chat with me on a Zoom call.
Well, I thank you very much for allowing me to chat with you today. Please know that we are here for you. Whatever you want to do, well, not whatever you want to do, but know that you're welcome under me. Yeah, because I have to check y'all. You know, 'cause you be like, oh, whatever I want to do. Hmm. She's. This has been great. Thank you so much. Please know that you're always welcome. This is Sigmund Berg. He is the author of One Journey Love Tuner. That's it, a Love Tuner book. It's not that big, it's not that long. It's a very easy read, and people like me can see the font. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. May the
Awesome.
universe continue to open up and conspire for your
Yeah.
great success.
And you keep on vibrating that high. You make a lot of people happy.
Because they know I don't take this. Thank you. They know I don't take this serious. I told them this is how I'm gonna die. I'm gonna be like, I was talking to Sigma, and they go, did she just drop dead on the keyboard? That's my plan. But then God got another plan. You know what they say. If you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plan. You told God, I'm gonna do this. He go, yeah, right. Okay, keep that with you. But this is what you're gonna do. You know that you're on the path to great work, and I thank you for your spirit. I thank you for your time. You be well and happy Thanksgiving.
Awesome. Happy Thanksgivings. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Peace and blessings to all of you, babies. And you know I love you, and there's nothing you can do about mother loving you. Always remember this, no matter how big or tall, short or small, thick or thin, it matters not what skin you're in. Everybody needs some mother love now and then.